The Piaffe. The Piaffe is a cadenced trot on the spot. The horse steps from one diagonal pair of legs to the other with a moment of suspension in between. If the horse lifts the diagonal legs only when the other pair reach the ground, the Piaffe is incorrect and appears stiff, and the impression of dancing of the movement is lost. The Piaffe used to be, and sometimes is still called, passage on the spot. This definition lays emphasis on the moment of suspension. In my opinion, this is not correct, because in the Piaffe, the moment of suspension is shortest, while it becomes increasingly longer in a collected, ordinary, and extended trot, and attains the longest duration in the passage. In the ideal Piaffe, the forelegs are raised so that the forearm becomes almost horizontal to the ground, and the hoof of the suspended hind leg is raised above the fetlock of the leg on the ground. The Piaffe is incorrect if the legs are not raised diagonally or regularly, or when only forelegs are lifted while the hind legs remain touching the ground. It is equally incorrect if the hind legs are raised in an exaggerated manner while the forelegs are hardly moving at all. In none of these cases will the horse be able to make an immediate transition into the trot, which is the surest sign that the Piaffe was incorrect. The correct Piaffe is developed from a forward urge which has been checked, as may be seen with the excited horses at liberty. When the obstruction has been removed, the horse will immediately cease the Piaffe and move forward in the trot. Another fault occurs when the horse moves his hind legs sideways instead of the direction of the movement. This is called a balancé and may be seen in the circus. The Piaffe is still more incorrect if the horse crosses his forelegs and weaves from side to side. This movement could not even be described as a Piaffe balancé, as it shows nothing of the dancing rhythm. The passage. In the passage, the horse swings proudly forward from one pair of diagonal legs to the other, and according to his conformation and talent, suspends the pair of diagonal legs in the air higher and for a longer period of time than the trot. In this pace, the suspension attains the longest duration. In the ideal passage, the horse gives the impression of floating above the ground, free from weight and borne in the invisible wings. The classical passage demands a strong and thoroughly trained horse, master of his balance and free from any tension. If this is not the case, numerous faults will occur. For instance, if the hind legs do not step sufficiently under the body and do not carry enough weight, they will come to the ground before the diagonal forelegs, and the brilliance of the movement is lost. A passage of this kind can be seen in the circus, or the steps of the hind legs may be uneven, or one hind leg may step higher under the body than the other. The type of trot which appears to hover and does not go sufficiently forward must never be mistaken for a passage. In the classical passage, the movement of the horse should appear as the collected trot in slow motion. It has become the habit nowadays to demand spectacular movements like the passage before the horse has had enough training in the basic exercises. This may result in the classical passage being lost.